Maker, that mom with the laser here, and today we're going to talk about how I made a nautical themed nursery sign. Now, I need you to bear with me here. Do you ever get an idea and you just kind of have to try it just to get the idea out of your head? That's kind of what happened this time. You see, normally when I have a design that I want to paint a bunch of different colors, I will take the pieces individually in my software and then I'll kind of measure what I need to do to paint it, and then I'll know where to paint on my wood. But this time I thought, well, what if I take the image, I score it onto my wood, I take it out, I paint it under a fan so it dries pretty fast, and then I put it back in the laser and cut it. And you know what? It actually worked. So just bear with me today. I'm experimenting here. I actually learned a few things and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. Are you ready? Let's go.
Okay, so I have imported my file and now I need to customize it before I cut it. I want the name on this nursery sign to cut through that anchor. So I'm going to use something called the knockout method. First, I'm going to duplicate the name and I'm going to set it aside for now. Then I'm going to select the object that I want to slice through. In this case, that's the anchor. Then I'm going to hold down the Shift key and I'm also going to select the name. Now I'm going to select the Boolean subtract one shape from another feature and cut through that anchor. Now I can position that name that I duplicated back into that spot and you can see how it's going to slice through it beautifully. Here's a tip. If you're having a hard time getting everything to line up, it just means you need to zoom in more. Then your cursor will automatically use the snapping feature to get everything to line up. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process for any other pieces that I need to slice through. Now I'm going to go ahead and take all of my pieces and nest them together as best as I can so that I can fit them all onto one sheet of a 1/4 inch birch plywood. It basically means I'm just going to squish it all together so that I can save material. Then I'm going to take my pencil tool and create a border around all of my nested pieces. This way I'm creating a template to keep everything together as well as saving material that I can use for other projects in the future. You'll notice here I used honeycomb pins to hold down my wood. This is important since I'm using this as a template and I'm going to be taking pieces out and putting them back in. So I did my first test cut with the rope. Since it worked, I went ahead and I painted the rest of my pieces. I originally tried this idea because I wanted to attempt painting an ombre effect on the rope, but to be honest with you, I don't got those kind of skills yet, so I ended up redoing the rope and just staining it. As for everything else, this method wasn't so bad. I also found that scoring the inside of the flowers would have been better after, so I just threw it back in and scored it again because I wanted the lines to be more pronounced. Okay, so I am just kind of laying things out so I can see how they look. And I didn't use my compressor this time because the baby was sleeping and I didn't want to add to the noise. So you can see I have a little bit of like charring on everything. So I'm just going to use a baby wipe and that's just going to come right off without damaging my paint job. And that's going to be it. I'm just going to clean it up. You can see here, it does a really good job, honestly. These baby wipes, they clean more than just little tushies. Okay, so you see, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep cleaning up my pieces. And then I still need to cut out the name and then I'll start to glue it all together. I already had this round ready to go. This is the one that I cut when I did my Axis door video a few weeks ago. I'll include that video in the description box below if you want to see how I cut my own round. Now this design that I'm using today, I got from the Homestay on Etsy. I'll include that link below also. I did make adjustments to the rope, however. This way it's in 2 pieces, and if you have a smaller laser bed, you could still make this on a 24-inch round.
Okay, so I've gone ahead and laid everything more or less where it's gonna go. And now I am just gonna use a little needle tip applicator bottle that I got from Hobby Lobby. These are the ones that I get. Artisan is the name of the brand. I already opened it, but they're just simple. I like them. The plastic isn't too hard, so when I'm squeezing it on my thumb, it doesn't hurt. and it has a nice little cap, and so that's what I'm going to use, and I have filled it with Titebond Original wood glue. So I'm going to go ahead and glue in my pieces, and I'm just going to be very gentle when I apply my glue. I'm going to try to stay in the center, not go too close to the edge, because when it pushes down it's going to spread and I don't want it to squeeze out from underneath. So time to get to gluing. Okay, so I am almost done gluing everything. I've got my weights holding stuff down, and now I need to do this name. Now remember, I made this round a long time ago, so I don't have any of the patterns scored on, which is genuinely what you want to do because it'll help you get everything lined up perfectly. So I've got to fit this name right here, and I've got to get it level. So I'm like, man, I don't have a ruler or something small enough, right, to fit in there. So I just went and I found one of my scraps, and I just kind of ripped this off, and now I'm like, I might even cut out little bits like this and use them in the future if I ever need. So I am going to just get creative here and improvise, and I'm going to make this as level as I can. I'm going to tape it down, and then I'll go ahead and glue on my letters.
Well, Maker, that's it for today. I really love how this piece turned out. I'm actually glad that I was brave enough to experiment. Had I not, I wouldn't have realized that I can actually cut boards that I have pre-painted without using masking. It's going to save me time. It's going to save me money. So I am going to try cutting painted pieces more often without having to mask them. In addition, I'm glad that the ombre effect that I was going for on the rope didn't work, because the idea to stain it wouldn't have come to me, and I honestly think that the stained look makes it even more realistic and beautiful. That's it for today, makers. I hope you had fun with me as always. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments below, and let's get social on social media. And I'll see you around here soon over at That Mom with a Laser.